Hi, we're Team Bravo. You may be wondering why the lab has been smelling of burning exercise bike recently. I'm sorry. Well, I don't know why I say I'm sorry, it wasn't me. We'd like to thank Alan Blackwell first, and we'd like to thank our client, Mr. Hallowell, and especially Brian who drove across the country to pick up a new exercise bike for us. We've got a bottle of wine for Brian, which we'll give it at the end. Thank you very much. Our brief was to build something that we could add to the exercise bike so that blind or partially sighted users could use it through sound instead of through vision as we do.
So, according to NHS England, adults are supposed to do 150 minutes of aerobic activity every day, every week, such as cycling or brisk walking. However, according to many studies, adults who are visually impaired are substantially more likely to report poor or worse in health than adults who are sighted. And yet, over 2 million people in the UK live with sight loss. So that's where we step in. Audible appliances, changing the face of accessible bike equipment.
So the initial bike was fairly simple. We were very happy with it. Unfortunately, the new mic is much more complicated. This is a very simplified workflow that we currently do. We're not going to go into this in a huge amount of detail, but please do ask at the end if you have any questions. Please find us at the end.
So we wanted to make a complete product as well, so we've also built a box that fits onto the exercise bike, which basically holds the Raspberry Pi and Pi camera in place. And we also have on the front of the casing two very accessible controls for our product.
By week 4, we were ahead, so we decided we'd set fire to the bike to let everyone else catch up. Thankfully, Brian came to our rescue and delivered us a new bike only 6 days ago. Thank you very much.
So one of the main issues with our product was capture time. So especially with the new bike, it had a lot of blinking screens. And about a week ago, as you can see from my helpful graph, we were capturing and posting images about once every minute, which basically meant we had a lot of work to do in the last 6 days. So we tried a lot of multi-threading and code that was rewritten in Java, and then Python, and then C. So a lot of work. Obviously, this led to a lot of problems. So all our highly efficient code meant that our Pi was running at 90% all the time. And after we... So after the computer lab had bought us a new bike, we thought asking for a custom Morse code system was a bit much. So we settled for a heatsink on our Raspberry Pi. I think the main moral of the story is if your code is making your computer overheat, then write better code, get a better cooling system. So what have we learned? I think the main thing we've learned is iterate, iterate, and iterate. So in this project, we've been through 4 cases, 2 bikes, 3 Raspberry Pis, 3 SD cards, 2 Raspberry Pi cameras, and about 50 Bell beaters.
The amount we've cost the lab is the sole reason lecturers are having to strike for their pensions.
So in closing, we may not have made a fancy VR or AA product, but we've had the opportunity to affect our client, Mr. Hallowell, potentially for a significant part of his life, and not add statistics about visually impaired people and exercise. I'm going to leave with a quote from Mark Bezos, a firefighter. He says, "Not every day gives you an opportunity to save a life, but every day gives you an opportunity to affect one."
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.